Hello, everyone. Welcome into Players Section with Tavarres, King, Knowshon, Moreno here on Southeastern 14. New show. We're into the season here. We've been together for a little while, but we're going to hit it on this channel right now. So let's go ahead and get it started right here on Southeastern 14. Cheers, folks.
Cheers.
Got a little Pure Leaf. Got a little water.
Yeah, little cold open. They'll bring it in here with a little graphic we've been using. But guys, we are excited to be on here with you talking SEC ball. Guys, it's been a minute, but how's it going? How's everything? How's life treating you right now?
Solid. Pretty good, man. Dogs 4-0. We love that over here, obviously. At my house, your house, and his house. So all good. All things are good in the football world.
Except Knowshon's Broncos. We talked about that last night. That's a little rough right now.
Oh yeah, them Broncos is looking tough right now. How I sound?
You sound good, man. Sound good. Looking good with the smash hat on.
Yeah,
I like it.
Smashed up.
Appreciate you. Yeah, I gotta get my mic right though. But all right, yeah. I mean, of course, things are good, man. Things are great. What's going on, Diane?
What's
everyone,
up, Diane?
The crew.
We are going to be allowing people to call in on this show here in just a little while too, guys.
That could get dangerous.
Yeah, it could get dangerous, get a little spicy here, but guys, go ahead and make sure that you're giving us your takes in the chat on SEC football. We're going to be welcome everybody in. Chris, welcome back. CT's in here, so we're going to let some people start filing in. But guys, as we do this, as we're talking through this, just your impressions. We're 4 games into the SEC season for most of these. Vandy has 5 because they played a week 0 game. But we're 4 games in here to the season. Just overall, a little bit of a rough start in the non-conference for the SEC, and you're seeing some dominant teams like Alabama and Georgia kind of ease their way into the season, it seems. What's your overall takes on just this season so far for SEC football?
Yeah. I mean, I think you said it. I think it's kind of just slow starts for everybody. Even within conference play, I don't think things have looked the way we would have thought or perceived them to look. You look at Bama, them having a loss this early in the season is kind of unprecedented. So things like that is crazy. But I mean, just a kind of a funky year, or funky start to the year, I think, in the SEC. I do think things will pick up. But you gotta wonder, is it because of and this is me getting to transfer portal stuff, but is it because there's just so much so many new guys and so many new places, so the continuity, things like that. Even at Georgia, places like Georgia, you got new guys out wide and things like that. So I mean, you got to wonder if that plays into it. But just a funny year, I think, in the SEC from the start for sure.
Oh, no doubt. Knowshon, what's been your thoughts just kind of on this season? We're 4 games in. We're about to get in the meat of this SEC schedule here.
Yeah, a lot of good football. A lot of slow starts, I would say, especially for the dogs. It's not the dogs of the old, I might say. It just looks a little different. It looks like they need to get a couple games underneath their belt just to get rolling and kind of get into the mix of things, which is okay. Just not used to seeing it from the dogs. But, yeah, a lot of little things going on in the SEC. I mean, Missouri out there playing well.
Yeah, Cal.
Your Missouri Tigers. Missouri Tigers. Let me give you a little background on this for people who are just getting with us the first time. Knowshon last year started banging the drum for Missouri. Said he liked what they had coming. They were really about a year away, and man, he's been right on the money. They've started off 4-0, have a great opportunity with Vanderbilt to go 5-0. So, man, Knowshon, you were right on it about last year when you said you liked this Missouri team.
Yeah, it was funny, man. It was crazy. Yeah, I mean, because even though they were losing the year before, I mean, they looked good at doing it. And then I'm like, bro, not only that, they get that experience that they needed. And I was like, man, they're going to come back with a lot of experienced players, man, that's going to be ready to go out there and ball. And they are. So, but no, it's a lot going on in the SEC. But The Dogs, once again, like we were all saying, they're on top right now.
Absolutely. Well, welcome.
You know what? These other
in.
conferences too, like the ACC. My fault. I didn't mean to cut you, but the ACC going crazy right now.
Yeah, Florida State playing good. Beat
Well,
LSU.
and then the Pac playing crazy. They got some teams over there in the Pac right now.
Yeah, USC, Oregon.
Yep.
I mean, obviously everybody's looking at Deion and Colorado, but they kind of got welcome to reality in some big boy football this last week.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's just some good football this year, and just I can't wait to see where the season takes us. Really.
Tim Collins in here said digging the new graphics. So yeah, guys, go ahead and share it on social media. Let everybody know that we're in here on Southeastern 14, new channel for us over here with players section. We don't just talk Georgia football. We talk all SEC, even though my two co-hosts here are former all SEC players at the University of Georgia, of course, did their thing in the NFL as well. So this show, guys, is going to give you a player's perspective on a lot of stuff, but we wanted to do something a little bit different and go ahead and open it up for some calls and things like that. We're going to provide you with a link, but we've got some OGs, some people who've been with us from the beginning when we've been on here. Andy Stowe, Alex, all you guys that are in here, go ahead and you can hop in with that link if you want to.
Diane.
Yeah,
ladies.
everybody that wants to come in here, y'all go ahead, Tim, Diane, whoever, with the link, and then we'll put it out for the other guys here. But we wanted to give our loyal guys that have been in here with us for a long time in here a chance to hop on and make some calls. So Andy, you can go ahead and use that link, hop in whenever you want to, buddy, and Alex, we'll get you going. But appreciate everybody tuning in so far. I did want to go ahead while we're waiting on those guys to call in and get going here. Go ahead and flash the SEC East standings. You can see Georgia and Kentucky both at 4-0. You got Florida at 3-1. They're lost to Utah. But
hold on, let's talk about these. I mean, I think we're going a little too fast because I'm super surprised about Florida right now.
But
y'all not surprised with that 3-1 record right now?
I definitely am. I mean, I think if you go back, if you go back and look
at the Tennessee game, that's the surprise, right?
Yeah. I mean, just their record in general. I definitely didn't think they would be looking this good. I didn't think they would be playing this good. I didn't think they play Utah that good. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, so that record. I think if we go back and look at some of our previous shows, I think we all had them like bottom tier.
Easily.
Like 4 or 5 wins. That was what we were looking at with them. So, and it's not out of, listen, it's still early, but you got to give it to Graham Mertz. He's played better than any of us thought he would.
I ain't think Mertz be playing, but look, all right, that had me thinking, honestly, because I was watching them play and I was like, bro, I didn't like him very much over there in Wisconsin, but he looked like he throwing the ball pretty well, putting it where it needs to be right now. And I'm like, oh, I got it. I know what it is. Man, our players are just better out here in the SEC. I'm like, them players over there in, the Big 12? I was like, they were making him look sorry. But at the same time, I didn't see it. He must have been really working on his game in the offseason because it's not bad.
No, Napier's got him playing well. We're going to go ahead and welcome
even though he almost got his homie
then we'll
killed.
Get to CT here in a minute. So CT, just hold on. Andy, NWO,
You gotta rock it. You gotta rock it. So I had to buy this shirt, but I had to buy it just for this for tonight because this is the first time I've ever worn it.
I like it. I like it.
Rock the Wolfpack. So.
I like your style, Andy. You got the mic. I ain't even got the mic. I do got the mic up there, but it ain't now. You got the mic. Yeah. I like your style.
You got to do it, man. Yeah, but your mic's probably better. The headset looks cool with the green cord. So,
Andy, what's been your thoughts on SEC football so far this year? I've been interacting with you on Twitter, some man. But what have you been thinking about everything?
Well, y'all kind of took my thunder. I was going to ask you about Florida because I said that team was going to win 4 games, maybe 5, and they look a little better. I mean, and then you got like Trevor Etienne. That dude's he's a football player. I mean, he's really good. So he's got 340 yards. He's averaging 6.7 a carry. That's strong. I mean, that's a lot better than I thought they were going to do.
Well, I'll tell you what, Andy, it wasn't like we didn't know that they had players over there. I mean, I saw Etienne. We knew Etienne was a good player. It was more so much turmoil, so much was going on over there with Bill Napier, right? So we were like, bro, can he galvanate the troops together and really go out there and have a competitive season. And we just didn't see it just because of all the front office stuff that was going on. I mean, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I said that Graham Mertz was the worst quarterback in the SEC.
Oh, that as well.
Yeah. I said he sucked. I said he was terrible.
I might take Mertz over the Heisman Trophy winner, man. That boy's slow.
Oh, listen, nothing with that. We didn't say nothing with that yet. But CT, welcome in, brother.
Thank you, guys. Good to see you guys.
Hey, what's cracking, man?
Man, I jumped in here because when we were thinking about this, I was like, we gotta talk about this Florida team. We're on the same topic.
Yeah, we are.
Everybody's on Florida. We got Tim scared of Florida. I mean, everybody. What's up, man?
Well, are y'all scared of Florida though? Are y'all scared? Do y'all think they can beat Georgia?
Nah, don't. Nah.
Yeah,
here's what I was thinking was you got a compelling game. Obviously, Georgia Auburn look forward to it every year, whatever. But we got a compelling game this week with Florida and Kentucky. Florida goes to the grocery store up to Kentucky, and they it'll be interesting to see what happens because I honestly I have no idea what to expect from this. I mean, I think Kentucky, if they show up and play their brand of football and play tough defense, but I mean, I could see that game go either way, and whoever wins that game, obviously, kind of gets a shot in the arm in the East. But my question for y'all is, as a Georgia fan, you want Kentucky to win it?
What is y'all's thoughts, TK and Knowshon? If you who are you personally rooting for to win that game versus Florida and Kentucky?
For me, I mean, I don't necessarily care, but
considering we got Kentucky coming,
all right. Me, I like Billy Napier. That's my guy. So I'm gonna rock with Billy on this one, for sure. Yeah. What you think?
Don't know, TK was recruited by Billy Napier, right, so he's got a little bit of when Billy Napier was at Clemson, he was trying to pull TK out of the state of Georgia. But Knowshon, what's your opinion on this Florida and Kentucky game?
No, I think CT mentioned it. It's gonna be a good game. I think we talking about two teams that are atop of the East right now. So whoever wins this game is gonna have a leg up on a lot of the other teams. But for me, I want to go with. I think I'm gonna go Kentucky.
You like what Ray Davis is doing over there?
Oh yeah, I love what Ray's doing over there for sure. He's running hard. You know what I'm saying? But he did that. He did that over there as well. Over at, what is it, Missouri? So
Vandy.
Vandy. Sorry, yeah, he's with Vandy. He did the same thing. So it's really no different. But I think I'm just gonna go Kentucky just because I like their jerseys, man.
And they got some new threads. They got some new threads. They adjusted them a little bit. Well, CT, Andy, do y'all have any? We're going to open it up and get some people on here in just a minute. But I wanted to give y'all both the opportunity to talk about, anything with the SEC West. I mean, Connor Weigman goes down with an injury today. He's out for the year. Max Johnson, a Georgia boy who is from right outside of Athens, going to come in. But what are y'all's thoughts or questions about, Alabama, LSU, or A&M about the West over there?
Well, with A&M, with Weigman going down, do you think, because you said the other day that you thought that Texas A&M would win the West. Do you think they'll win the West now with Max Johnson?
I thought, Knowshon, TK, I was saying I think Texas A&M has looked good with the defense that they're playing, and with Connor Weigman, they were playing really well. Now the question is Max Johnson good enough? Knowshon, I know you're a big fan of Max Johnson.
Yeah, I like Max Johnson, man. I liked him in this quarterback battle when he first transferred over, and I thought he was a win the job. So I do like Max. He got that height I like in the pocket. He stays in the pocket. He got an arm on him as well, but it's just I think the question for him is, can he command that offense, and can he make sure he's putting the ball in the right spots when it comes down to it.
Not turning it over.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, he got an arm. He just got to command that offense a little bit better.
TK, Max Johnson's going to be getting to throw to his brother, Jake Johnson. Can you imagine if you had a brother out there playing in the SEC? I mean, you and Knowshon basically like brothers over there playing when y'all was in Denver and stuff like that. Yeah. But I'm just saying, a blood brother getting to play with him. Can you imagine what that would have been like?
Nah, bro. I mean, it would have been. I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, I got to share the field with Sauce a few times, but nothing like probably a blood brother. Like that's probably way different. But yeah, I'm with you though, Sauce. I do like Max Johnson. I think he might sit in that pocket a little too long. I think that's been a problem of his, but I think he can get it done though. I might agree with that, bro. The West is kind of shaky over there.
It says Jason Hughes says who in the SEC West has the easiest problems to fix. So let's just kind of run through the problems real quick. LSU's big problem is they can't stop anybody from throwing the ball. Their secondary is, as I say, Andy, #hot dog water. It is awful. It is absolutely awful.
Which if like that's historically like crazy.
DBU.
Yeah, right. Like that's historically crazy. I mean, you said it. Yeah, it's DBU. So. Yeah,
but that's their big problem. Alabama, their problem before this Ole Miss game was that they couldn't get anything really going explosively down the field offensively, and they couldn't really protect Milroe in that Texas game. They looked absolutely awful without Milroe in the USF game, so they just got to keep adjusting offensively. And then Texas A&M, they've had problems in the secondary as well. Miami lit them up like a Christmas tree when they went down there and did that. So two teams with secondary problems too on the offense. What now?
I did win that bet because you said Texas A&M was going to win that. I wrote it down.
Yeah, you called Miami to win that one. But listen, you got a little Miami bias over there, and you former Dolphin over there.
That boy said I wrote it down.
Yeah, he made the list. Get it out.
Made the list. So, guys, overall, which team do you think in the West has the easiest problems to fix? I guess before we get to, and then we'll get something from CT here before we let these guys go and get some more people on.
Easiest problems. I don't know, Sauce. What you?
I mean, two teams with DB issues.
I'm gonna go. I see what you're saying. A team with DB issues, a team with a quarterback issue. I'm gonna say Alabama, honestly. Once they get rolling, man, and figure out exactly who they want to be the quarterback, stop going back and forth. I guess it's gonna be Jalen now.
It's gonna be Milroe, yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna be anyone else. So, I think it's them. I think it's Alabama. Excuse me.
Yeah. So, TK, that can be fixed a lot by the system, I think, and how Tommy Rees calls a game for Jalen Milroe. I think can help him out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think this last game he did a good job of calling plays that put Jalen Milroe in good position to just play his game, not make easy decisions. And he looked good. I think it was his best game this year. So I think Tommy Rees has a lot to do with the success of that offense and how that the Alabama offense is going to look, obviously. But I mean, that being said, I mean a lot at the end of the day, a lot of that does fall on Jalen Milroe's shoulders.
And their offensive line struggles a lot too. I mean, Proctor's getting beat up. So
and that's something that hasn't been a historic thing. Something that hadn't been historically bad either. So yeah, I mean, it's again, like I said at the beginning of the show, it's an interesting year in the SEC, man.
What you got before we get some other people?
When I think about the West, I think I think of it kind of as opposed to the East. We go into if Kentucky beats Florida, we go into Athens, and Georgia and Kentucky kind of go into then a big time kind of East matchup, and largely unless something crazy happens, both teams kind of wonder what do we have? Who are we? What do we have? Whereas I think the West, it's interesting because LSU and Alabama both took early losses out of conference, both out of conference, right? Yeah, both out of conference, and they kind of figured out who they were or who they weren't, right out of the gates. And we're here at week 4 and 5, and we're still trying to kind of identify who we are offensively and kind of get all the pieces in place. And I feel like Kentucky's a little bit like, they're still trying to realize what we, thought they may have been, and we're 4 games in so I kind of feel like the West, they at least have some idea of who they are and kind of know what to fix. Whereas sometimes I feel like we don't know exactly what, we're still trying to put it together and get there. Before we know really what to diagnose and to fix, we're trying to get our guys all, in line. So the West to me, it is a weird year. But they at least, kind of took those early lumps and learned something.
Yeah, here it is. I mean, you see all of them 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. Everybody's got a loss in there in the West, which I don't think anybody would have predicted this early in the year. So that is interesting. But Chris and Andy, we're gonna let some other people hop on. We appreciate you guys hopping on with us. We're gonna do this calls more often. We'll have you guys on. Make sure to share on social media and stuff. Appreciate everybody. Give it up for CT and Andy. We appreciate you.
Good to see you guys again.
Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all joining. All right. So now, guys, that was a great point by CT there. When he talked about, hey, the West has at least been tested a little bit. Okay. They have, they have a little bit of grit about them now because they've been pushed. Now, I would say Georgia, talent-wise, maybe hasn't been pushed because they were more talented than South Carolina. But scenario-wise, they did have to come back in the second half. So they do have that kind of mettle tested where, hey, they were down 14-3 at a half and had to come back. And then Kentucky hasn't played any. Kentucky's best win is Vanderbilt. So, I mean, that tells you the caliber of teams they've played. So 2 teams undefeated. Do y'all think as former players that the game that Georgia went through against South Carolina, a team they were better than them, but had to come back and win, similar to that Missouri game last year, do you think that considers as getting them, kind of trial by fire, tested a little bit, ready for the rest of the season?
You muted, TK.
Thank you. I know I do that from time to time. No, for me, I think that is one of the toughest tasks is to be trailing, especially as a young college kid, is to be trailing, facing that kind of adversity in an environment where either you're projected to be winning like a Georgia team like we are, or you're just losing, or you're away and you got the crowd on you. I think that's one of the toughest things, to be trailing and to prevail, come out on top, make sure you do everything, doing all the little things to kind of chip away at that lead and get that momentum and on your side. I think that right there is tough. So yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think that we've been tested in that regard. From a talent standpoint, you saw South Carolina. That's not the greatest talent I think that we'll see this year, but I think that we can play with anybody. Obviously, we've got the best recruits, best players in the nation, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. So I'm not worried from a talent standpoint. I think that being down and prevailing is probably a little bit more
challenging and more get you going.
Yeah.
Knowshon, now Chris has got that point and TK's got that point of, okay, Georgia's had to come back, but you've got, like he mentioned, LSU has been in there and got their teeth kicked in, by Florida State, and Alabama, the same thing against Texas. So do you take, as a former player, maybe those Mondays when you come back into the facility after a loss, other than a close win, does it just hit home a little bit more? What do you think that experience was like, and how do you think Alabama and LSU would go forward after, coming together after those losses?
Nah, as a player, I mean, you're not really thinking about it as a commentator or as a fan. You're looking at it as, all right, I didn't have the best game I could have had. All right, on to the next. But when you're on the outside looking in at it, you're like, bro, this doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about the talent on Georgia, of course. Yeah, of course we have the talent. But when you're playing teams like UT Martin, you're supposed to put 100 on them. I mean, and it is just what it is.
Yeah, at least 3 digits.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then you talk about LSU, and they've played a tough game also, but yeah, they played a tough game versus a really good team. We talk about a top 5 team. All right, Georgia didn't play no top 5 teams yet. You can say the same thing with Alabama playing Texas. That's a top team they played.
Oh yeah.
So obviously the game was close. Obviously it's going to be a tough game. I can't say that for Georgia. It was just a tough game because we made it a tough game. As you know what I mean? The players made it a tough game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I just know that they just need to get things rolling.
Hey man,
and it seems like they are.
You sound a little you sound a little tight. You sound a little tight, Blaine. You sound a little tight.
I'm tight, like as in I'm mad. You know what I mean? We talking about, the first 2 weeks, a receiver, not 3 weeks, I think, right? A receiver not going over 100 yards receiving to this past week with Bowers. It's like, you need to see that every single week. We talking about a running back group that didn't get over 100 yards rushing, a single player, until week 3 or something.
Until Dejon came back. And we knew when Dejon came back, the jig was up, man.
This is the stuff I'm seeing. And this is the stuff like, yeah, as a player, you're like, nah, man, I just need to have a better game. But, on the outside, we like, bro, this is probably pretty much the same way. Like, yo, get it going. You know what I mean? So I'm not nervous by any means because the schedule is not as tough as it could be. But we're going to play some better teams than we have this far. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. Georgia will be tested. They got to go on the road to Auburn this week. And of course, that's always a crazy environment. Jason Hughes wants to ask here, would you be surprised, and both of you can answer, if LSU beats Alabama in November? Remember, that game will be in Tuscaloosa this year when they play.
No, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, I think Jaden Daniels is a really good quarterback. I think Malik Neighbors. What's my other cat out there?
Ryan Thomas. I mean, he's just
I think
people's heads over there.
Yeah, I think out wide they're really special. So I think if they continue to kind of get that going, they kind of fell asleep. LSU over there fell asleep against Florida State.
They good, man.
Got pushed around.
Yeah, Florida State's good, but they kind of gave up in that second half. LSU didn't want the smoke.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised seeing LSU take that game at all.
No doubt. Knowshon, another thing that's going on in the SEC right now is you mentioned Georgia's backs not maybe having as much success as they wanted to earlier, but another running back that we all thought was great coming into this year because of what he did as a freshman, Quinshon Judkins, has not got going at all. He had 50-something yards rushing against Alabama last week, and they just haven't been able to. His offensive line has struggled to create space for him, and then also he's been a little banged up from a former, running back perspective. How do you handle that as a back that hey, I'm that guy, I'm that dude, but I'm having a slow start and my offensive line struggling a little bit. How do you handle that dynamic with them? What's your mindset like if there's kind of things aren't going your way in the running game at that point in time?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, we all thought that he'll be one of the top 5 rushers right now in yardage, at least in the SEC.
Maybe the country.
Yeah, for sure. But that happens, and that happens when you got footage out there. People know about you now. You can't sneak up on them anymore. You know what I'm saying? So that's one reason why it's happening, because it's like they know. Teams know now. It's like, all right, we stop Judkins. All right, they're going to have a harder time. They have a tougher time to score on us and to beat us, right? So I understand that. But I feel like you got to push your guys a little bit more in practice, man. You know that you're better. Yeah, if you're banged up, we get that also. But, you got to push the guys in practice more to get them kind of going up front. And then when you get out there, make sure you take advantage of your opportunities. But it'll come, man. It'll come. It's still early for that part of his game, to get out there and have some more yards rushing, but at least his team is winning.
No doubt. And TK, the same thing for you from a receiver standpoint. And I want to ask this about those Ole Miss receivers. We just talked about Judkins. Well, they've got 2 receivers and a tight end that all came back from surgery last week. I mean, they came back. One came back from an ankle, that tightrope surgery. Another guy came back from a little knee scope. Another guy came back, little stuff getting cleaned up here and there. But even if it's minor surgery, coming back from surgery in your first game being against Alabama, how frustrating do you think it was for those receivers to be kind of limited in that matchup when they want to just go full out,
Yeah, I mean, super frustrated. I mean, anytime you're coming back from an injury, anyways, it's kind of got that psychological, component to it as well. Like, can I cut like I want to? Can I, So I mean, yeah, I mean, even being limited from a coaching standpoint, I mean, I'm sure there was some things that the coaches didn't want them to do and they wanted to do. So just chomping at the bit to get out there against Alabama. So yeah, I mean, being injured is tough. But they were I mean, they were missing three guys that probably could have helped them if 100%, or at their best, I guess we would say. So yeah, I mean, that could have looked a little different, but yeah, I'm with you, Tim. I thought this was the year, I thought this was the year the Lane train was gonna get the rolling too, but damn.
This man was tweeting Taylor Swift songs, Castles Crumbling, all this kind of stuff. He was setting the stage.
I thought this was the year. He's just gonna keep doing it, I guess, until it's the year.
Yeah, he's gonna keep that trolling going, guys. If you want to join, we put the link there. You can join. There's the StreamYard link. You can hop in and be right here in the middle where that Southeastern 14 is. We'll put you right there in the middle, and you can talk to the two former SEC players here in TK and Knowshon. Guys, we do have some intriguing matchups here that we are going to be looking at this weekend. Of course, Georgia and Auburn will have that. We've already talked a little bit about Florida and Kentucky, but we have a little revenge game for the Vols welcoming in South Carolina. We know what happened last year. South Carolina just totally destroyed Tennessee's hopes and dreams and hung 63 points on them down there in Columbia. The Tennessee fans are going to be rowdy with the Gamecocks coming in this Saturday. What's your guys' thoughts on that game with Tennessee and also with South Carolina?
South Carolina didn't show me enough. Really.
But did Tennessee? Look at that Florida performance.
Yeah, true. Well, so in those regards, I guess it could be a pretty solid game. I'll tell you who did show me enough was Spencer Rattler, though. Like I was impressed with how he played against the Dogs, for sure. But oh man, I don't know. It could go anyways. We got a spread on this thing. We got like anything.
Yeah, it's right here. I'm about to put it over your face real quick, but it's a 7:30 game, 11 and a half. Yeah, you can point down at it. There you go. You're looking down. 11 and a half. I think it's grown to like 12 or 13 so far in this one. But this is a night game in Neyland. The orange clad people up there, Knowshon, gonna be nice and lubricated up for a 7:30 kick up there with all 150,000 whatever they fit in that stadium. I mean, it is a bunch of them.
Yeah, it's gonna be rocking. Night games. I mean, night games all over the country be rocking. So it's gonna be a good game. I'm intrigued to see what's the turnout on this game. Spencer Rattler is playing well this year. I mean, his offensive line hasn't protected him any, but I think he's been playing decent for what he's given. I mean, talking about the third in passing yards right now in the SEC, right? So he's up there. He's able to throw that thing around a little bit with a little 74% completion rate like that. And then we talk about Joe, Milton over there. I mean, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna be there to play?
Inconsistent, man. He's been up and down.
Exactly. And shoot, and the backs ain't helping him. You know what I mean? Where's Jabari? Where's Wright at? I know they've been doing all right, but
Wright got injured in that in the last game. He left with an injury against UTSA, so I don't know if he'll be available for this one or not. I think that's still up in the air, but they do have Dylan Sampson, the young player that has really stepped up. He had 139 yards last game, so we'll see how that goes.
Needs to be that one though. He needs to be the one that's going to take over that job. But if he wants to lose it, then all right, go ahead. But all right, go ahead. But it's gonna be a tight game. But once again, another team that's struggling to find their identity, like CT was talking about.
One thing that you probably do have written down in that little list over there for our shows in the past is probably when I said I don't think Joe Milton finishes the year as Tennessee's quarterback. Okay, I said I think Nico Oliva gets to come in there at some point.
You said that about a lot of quarterbacks. You said that about Simpson over there with Alabama as well. You said that he'll be playing by the end of the season.
Well, I thought he would be playing. I thought he was supposed to be everybody what they said coming into the year. Ty Simpson fits the best and all that, but
that's why I got to write him down.
It's got to be Monroe now. We didn't know that offensive line is going to be that bad.
Yeah, I got to write your stuff down because you be saying some outlandish stuff.
Yeah, you also said that about my man Joe Milton too. So I'm just going.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Joe Milton's going to finish. My question to y'all is: if this is a game where South Carolina has, let's say they jumped out early like they did against Georgia, and they're leading at halftime, do you think the calls start coming from Nico for Nico?
No, I mean I gotta think and hope that Joe gets it together. But if that does happen, I'm sure money talks, BS walks. I think I would have to think that
Tim is
have no Heisman watch, Tim.
Yes,
I never said Heisman.
Yes, he does.
In the comments over here, they're live over here, live comments.
Nah, you said that. Go ahead, TK. That's my dude back there. What up, dude?
Yeah, that's your guy. He needs to get up out of here. He's trying to. I got the door closed on him. I'm gonna have to get up and get that in a minute.
Pretty much, Joe's gonna be that dude, huh? Right? He ain't gonna lose it.
I don't think so. Yeah. I think Joe's the guy.
Yeah,
I think he has to be. I mean, yeah. Have we seen much of Nico? Like,
we haven't seen much. He played it. We saw him in the spring, of course, playing in the spring game as he would. But I mean, he's had limited reps during the season. But I think the thing about it is all that money that's getting paid in the NIL.
I agree with that. I mean, I agree
with already a loss to Florida. If Joe Milton, if they were undefeated at this point and Joe's just been playing great, I'd say, yeah, I was wrong and there won't be any question about it. But if they're in danger again at this point in the year, that makes me say,
let's just stop this right now. My fault. Let's go back to what we were talking about with the Heisman candidate. Let's talk about him. What's your thoughts on him so far, Blaine? Tell me everything.
Devin Leary, he is absolutely fallen way below the expectations I had for him. Okay. I can tell you when I'm wrong on something. He has not played well, but he's got a big opportunity this weekend, does he not? With Florida coming in there.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. He definitely. We'll be watching this one. Yeah, he definitely does have an opportunity. But, bro, I don't know. Mertz looks better than him right now. I'm like, bro.
Hey, I think we all would have been a little bit wrong about that if we'd said Mertz was going to be playing better ball than Devin Leary at this point. Mm-hmm. But it's that's not how we thought it would end up going. Now, the last thing before we go here, we had Scott Swindle in here, and he said the Razorbacks are ready to get it. So even after back-to-back losses, he says that they're ready for A&M. They're ready for Bama. KJ Jefferson balled out, Knowshon, against LSU. But the problem was that defense just couldn't make enough plays against Jaden Daniels and them over there. What's your thought? Oh, we got Unc joining us. Unc, we can't hardly see you, man.
Hey, bro, because I'm out here in the light. Hang on.
I can't give you that.
What y'all doing, man?
You gotta take that. You gotta take that evening walk, man. Leave him alone.
He's got him a little drink. He's ready to go. Alex, we about to talk about this. We're about to talk about this Arkansas Texas A&M game. What do you think? You think Arkansas can bounce back after two losses?
Yes, I do. Especially the way KJ played in Baton Rouge. I mean, he put the cape on, and had it not been for some offensive line struggles, I was thinking, like, when I was watching that fourth quarter, I was like, man. Well, actually, take that back. When I saw the initial score in the first half, I was like, oh, this could be one of them liquor games for Coach Pittman. And then as the second half unwound, I was like, maybe someone pulled the liquor out too quick from the cabinet to Coach Pittman. I was like, dang. But then with the effort they displayed and the way they, kept it close and still had a chance to win, I was like, if I was Coach Pittman when I got back to the crib, I would have had at least one glass. Just because we had them. Just because I was on the verge of being like Dennis Green and being like, we had them. We knew who they were.
We let him off the hook.
Let them off the hook. Let them off the hook. So.
And Knowshon, Arkansas was doing all that offensively with no Rocket Sanders. Rocket Sanders been out 3 games with a knee injury.
I get it. I'm sorry, Unc. I don't know if they can do it though, B. I mean, KJ can't do it by himself.
Well, it's in Dallas,
and you
too,
have
so
those games sometimes.
It's going to be a technical neutral site game. So,
it's at Jerry's World.
A&M's going to be – I know A&M's going to be playing with Johnson, but, hey,
right.
They got offensive struggles too.
Yeah.
Especially from an offensive line standpoint. Now, that's not to say Arkansas is – their D-line is on point. That's going to bring pressure. But, hey, this is a new week. So, and you got a different quarterback.
True. It's just, maybe he'll play. I mean, just hope he doesn't play to his competition. I mean, the last 2 games, he had to. I mean, Texas A&M, he might just, take a day off. I don't know.
KJ ain't taking a day off because Enos won't let him do that. Especially the way he's been playing, it's the Enos effect, man.
All right, now. Yeah. I'm watching.
Now we've kind of been split on this. Florida Kentucky game, Alex. What's your thoughts on this?
It's Blaine. This is your boy's game.
He better
ball out. The truth. This is your boy's game. So he's got. Where is it? Is this in Gainesville?
Are you saying like it's his game to like prove himself, or are you saying like it's his game like he is for sure?
Both.
Hey, welcome in Eddie from Ackworth. Eddie, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, Blaine?
What's cracking, Eddie?
TK, Knowshon, thank y'all for being damn good dogs. We appreciate y'all.
Man, I appreciate you. So, boy, Alex, you were saying what? What you were saying?
No, I was saying with Blaine's boy, the truth, that is both. It's his game because he got off to a slow start initially. They were struggling a little bit. I think Blaine was at the last game. They kind of shown some production, like they've
here's his thing. He started off game slow. Like every game, he started off slow, and then he catches fire in like the second, third quarter, and they end up pulling away.
Yeah,
a little bit thing about Kentucky.
How many?
5.
A little thing about Kentucky. Listen, a little bit thing about Kentucky here. Did you know that this is the first season? And I don't care who you're playing. They've played teams in the past that aren't very good. In the last, I don't know, however many seasons since 2007, Kentucky has not scored 28 points or more in their first 4 games. Well, they have this year. Okay. Even with some struggles, they've scored at least 24 points in every game. So this is a little bit different Kentucky offense than has been in the past.
Nobody care about that stat right there.
Yeah.
Just letting you know, a little bit more consistent.
Where's the game at? Is it in Gainesville or is that?
It's in Lexington. It's in Lexington.
Man, I'm taking Florida, man. Screw it.
No, I'm taking Kentucky.
You guys go for
Eddie, what do you think, man?
It's a tough one. I'll probably take Florida in that one. But I want to ask you guys a question. I know y'all have moved on to this week, but I want to go back to last week because this has been driving me crazy, okay? Am I the only one who thought Lane Kiffin absolutely blew it down the stretch against Alabama? I mean, the game was in the balance. I know they were down by 2 scores, guys, but it looked to me like they were just lazing around, taking their sweet-ass time, handing the ball off, and they did nothing to try to win that football game, and they could have. I thought that was horrible coaching down the stretch. Do y'all see that as well?
PK, do you feel they were limited by those injuries we talked about,
Yeah, they were probably limited by the injuries for sure. 100% from a tempo perspective. I did feel like that too. I felt like that they would be playing a little bit faster down the stretch. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I said it earlier. I thought this was the year. Look, but I've said that for like 3 years. So wait a minute. Let me stop you there. So you're saying that backups can't play tempo? Is that what you're saying? I mean, come on.
Not against a great Alabama defense. To
they
play tempo, you got to make
can get
yards.
up to the line of scrimmage quicker than that. They can run plays faster than that.
Oh yeah.
No,
I mean, come on.
I agree, and it could have been. And I think from my perspective, it looked more so from a coaching thing than a player thing. Like it didn't look like they were trying to go tempo. It didn't look like they were trying to play with tempo or play fast or anything. So I agree with you. I think it could have been a little bit different. For sure, 14 points down the stretch. Yeah, it could have been a little different.
Knowshon, we know though with Ole Miss and with Tennessee, to get that tempo going, they got to be able to run the football first. And right now, they're neither one of them are running it as successfully as they'd like.
Man, none of us. Listen, Georgia ain't running as well as I would like.
That boy said none of us.
None of us, bro.
Nobody.
I'm just saying.
Nobody.
Only school right now and team that's running the ball is Missouri, baby.
Hey, let's talk. Hey, that's what we call a segue. Let's go talk about Knowshon's crew out there. Breckenshire, Luther Burton. Okay.
Hey, yeah,
the
Luther going
QB
crazy.
Cook out there. Okay. You know, defense still holding its own. Textbook defense right there. Blake Baker out there holding it down. Hey, Knowshon, you guys. Hey, listen, you've been on them, and now, as someone said on the radio show recently, that extension is starting to look good for your boy.
Hey, they should. The players are playing for him. You know what I mean? And I mean, it also helps that a lot of these guys has been in the system for a while. So I mean, that helps. So hopefully the coaches use this opportunity to really recruit players and be like, bro, look what we have here. You feel me? And get these players in there so they can kind of get some experience underneath their belt. But I love the way that they're playing. They're playing well. What? Tell me everything.
Sam Thomas has been freaking out all week, like in chat and stuff like that. He's preparing for a close game. Man, it's Vandy. Mizzou is going to roll in there and crush Vandy. You don't have to worry about it. I don't think they're going to have a close game with Vanderbilt. I really feel like they're going to go in there and take care of business. Eddie, what do you think?
Yeah, Knowshon, can I ask you a question about the running backs room? I don't know if you guys have talked about it or not, but it just seems like the running backs room until Dejon gets in there, he's the one that's hitting the hole quickly and moving his feet. I'm not going to say correctly, but moving his feet very quickly. Do you see that difference with Dejon? Because it seems to me the other running backs in the room can't seem to hit that hole as well as he can. Is that a combination of the line and the running back, or is it the running backs?
Nah, you're seeing it right. You're seeing it right. You know, Dejon came on last year as well, and he got that experience last year and got his stripes in a lot of games last year of how hard and how physical he runs to be such a small player as he is. He's smaller than the rest of them. So no, that's just the mentality that he brings to the game, and you can see it the first 2 weeks when he wasn't there. It was a little lackluster. You know what I mean? I don't understand why some of the other backs aren't running as hard as he is, pushing the pile, catching the ball out the backfield, and punishing defenders. That's all I care about. Punish the defender, and that's what Edwards does. And I feel like guys can feed off of that, though. You feed off of that as a running back room as well. So for them, and you can kind of like after when Dejon got back, Milton was actually running harder, and I was like, damn, okay, he's running hard now as well. So like I said, he can kind of rub off with some other guys with the way that he's running the ball, but you're not wrong. He hits the hole harder and at a different pace than these other backs do, and they just need to get up to pace and start moving that pile and punishing people. Bro, they're too big to be running the way they do sometimes, and I'm like, come on. So you're not wrong about that at all.
What about Dylan Bell? Is he just a gimmick at this point, or do you really think he could be a legit back there?
Nah, I like Dylan Bell. I feel like, he played a little bit of running back, I think, in high school, so that helps him out, right? And he's a physical, big kind of guy. All he needs to do, he's a big cat. All he needs to do is take off that 80 number, bro, and I'm with him. You know what I'm saying? Get in these 20s with us, and let's get it. 20s and 30s.
Hey,
but I like him as a back, man.
Hey, Knowshon, Blaine, TK. Who was the dude that was like moved? They moved him to running back. It's been several years because Coach Rick was there, and it was the same situation where they had a bunch of running back injuries. Was it Brandon? It was Brandon. I'm not talking about B Hart. It was another kid. I can't remember what jersey number he wore.
Brandon Sutherland. He was a fullback. And
no.
Brandon Smith.
Say what?
Brandon Smith played some tailback. Yeah, a little bit. Had some number one. He was a real fast kid. They put him in there to run some toss sweeps with him and stuff like that.
Hey, listen, that boy B Smith to get the slide and you throw that toss sweep.
Yeah.
So do y'all think
Knowshon's point too about the running backs running physical and that providing energy to the room, the running back room, that also provides energy to the offense as a whole. Sure. And even more so the offensive line, because they feed off that type of energy as well.
Yeah.
So is Branson Robinson a bigger loss than we thought it was?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's just I play outside the box.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, yeah, I think so. Knowshon, how big of an impact do you think B-Rob was, or not having B-Rob is?
No, for sure. Definitely a big blow to that offense in general. Because we saw the way that he runs, we saw the way he was running last year towards the end of the year in big games. So it hurts when you lose a great player like that, right? But it's not an excuse, honestly. I mean, now other players need to step up. It ain't like we don't have anyone in that room that's not good. You know what I mean? I think that everyone has talent in that room. So people just need to step up. But of course, it was a blow when we lost him. Come on.
Well, there's tons of videos going around about Auburn and Georgia right now, and I just watched the DeAndre Swift run over and over and over in the SEC championship, and he's a home run guy. And I just feel like we don't have that home run guy, even with Branson Robinson healthy, in the backfield this year. Maybe Dylan Bell, I don't know, but we don't have a home run guy. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean,
Cash.
He's okay.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Eddie. I think you're saying something that we've said on this podcast before. You know, we've been a team that's been running back by committee for a while. We hadn't had a Knowshon Moreno in the backfield in a while. We hadn't had a DeAndre Swift in the backfield in a while. So I think that's something or a Gurley, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, for sure. Or Chubb. So I think that's something that's I think that's something to take a look at. Like, you need that guy that, like, in that you need a back there. Like, I'm gonna get you what I need to get you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's I guess that's a cause for concern for sure.
And it makes it. I mean, I feel like we're gonna get into a rhythm, right, as an offense. And I feel like these holes are going to even open up even more once we get this pass game going too. And once we get everyone eating on that pass game, Bowers and Saint and all these guys like that, that's going to make it easier for the backs also.
Hey, Eddie and Alex, we're going to have to let y'all run. We're getting close on time, but thank y'all for joining in. We're going to do this next week. We're going to do it next week. You hop in with us. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
See you, man. Yeah, Alex. All right, Eddie from Ackworth, and we got Alex that joined in here with us. We appreciate you guys. Now let's get back on our set here. So our last question to end it up, guys. Jason Hughes says, is it possible for the SEC West to have 2 losses, the SEC West champion to have 2 losses at the end of the season? I mean, do y'all think the SEC West will cannibalize each other so much that whoever ends up in Atlanta over there on that side has 2 losses?
Yeah. I mean, I think that with the way it looks right now, you got Texas A&M playing all right. I mean, everybody's just playing all right ball right now, I feel like. So,
well, let's throw up the standings real quick while you're talking through this. Okay, so in the SEC West, you look, the teams with 1 SEC loss, you still right now, Ole Miss, Auburn, and Arkansas all just have 1 SEC loss because that non-conference loss doesn't matter in terms of the SEC championship. So all 1 loss, and then of course you got undefeated in the conference with A&M, Alabama, and LSU. So that would mean that LSU and Alabama would both have to lose 2 games. That may be a tall order. I don't know. I think one of them is going to finish with only 1 loss.
Yeah, I don't see LSU losing more than maybe 1 more. Yeah, maybe LSU might, because they play Alabama. You know what I mean? So
at Alabama.
So say they lose,
but Alabama has to go to Texas A&M.
They get off of Texas A&M. I don't care about no Texas A&M. They got to go to Kentucky, maybe. I mean, what's up with Kentucky? You don't like Kentucky?
He don't like them no more. He don't like them no more. Sauce. He off.
What are you talking about? They're about to be 5-0. They're about to beat Florida this weekend and be undefeated coming into Georgia.
He off Kentucky.
Sauce. He off Kentucky, coach. Well, that's what I'm saying. So, because
I'm not off Kentucky. Go check the prediction videos here on Southeastern 14. I picked Kentucky to win the game.
I think Alabama has a tougher road. I feel, honestly. Yeah, you mentioned Texas A&M, but they still got Tennessee. That's going to be a tough game. Then you got LSU, and then you got Kentucky right after LSU. So I feel like their road is a little bit tougher than LSU's.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, but I think the point is what Jason asked: is it possible that all of them they would really have to all beat each other up?
Yeah, those. That means, like you said, Alabama has to lose 2. I mean, it's possible though. If they beat LSU but lose another one, I mean,
Yeah, but are we talking about 2 total losses, or are we talking about 2 SEC losses? I don't see them both having 2 SEC losses. You know.
No, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking total from the beginning. SEC losses would be tough. I mean, it'd be tough, but it's doable.
We got a bunch of people get called in. We had a good conversation with Alex, with Eddie, with Andy, with CT. We're gonna get more people on here. We want to talk all teams right here. You see us talking Texas A&M. That's what we do here on Southeastern 14. We're talking about LSU, Alabama, Missouri, every SEC team, and of course you can ask them a question from 2 former Georgia Bulldogs here. We'll be live every Wednesday night at 8:30 for the rest of football season. So make sure to like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and we will catch you guys next time right here. Oh, by the way, go to CHOMPS in the description, 15% off, guys. If y'all hadn't been to CHOMPS, y'all need to go. TK and Knowshon, I hadn't filled y'all in on CHOMPS yet. A little protein snack for you, okay? You can go in there and get 15% off. They got venison, they got beef, they got turkey, all that kind of stuff.
Wait,
so go
this
check
is a
it out.
turkey candy bar?
It's like a meat stick, like a jerky stick type thing.
Pause. You talking about beef jerky?
Don't ever say meat stick again on this show.
Don't ever say meat stick. By the way,
kind of like a Slim Jim. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we gotta talk to you once we go off the air. You don't ever say what you just said. But anyway, yeah, send me something over this way, Chomps. I need to see what that's talking about.
Chomps,
check it out in the description. Check it out in the description. Florida, they're going to try to go up and chomp Kentucky this weekend, but it ain't going to work out for them. Turkey candy bar. That may be a shirt when we get our merch going up here. A turkey candy bar? Absolutely.
You got to watch Blaine, guys. Y'all got to watch him. That's why I got to ask the question.
God dang.
We appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications. We'll catch you guys next time right here. Players section with Tavarres and Knowshon on Southeastern 14. Cheers, fellas.
Meat stick.